Hey guys, today is Monday, July 6th, and I am 27 weeks and 1 day pregnant. I am out for a morning walk because it's not too hot and humid right now, so I thought I would take advantage. We had temps in the mid to high 90s all weekend with just crazy humidity, and I'm normally a pretty cold-natured person, so I don't really mind being pregnant in the summer, but it's really the humidity that gets me. So just trying to get some movement in before the temps get up too high today and that humidity just really starts to be super oppressive. Last week was just really long. There was just a lot going on. My clinic schedule continues to get busier and busier, and it's really exciting. I love being able to see new patients and help people, but it was a lot, and I'm starting to see how I'm gonna have to probably wind down things a little bit sooner than I was anticipating towards the end of this pregnancy. But I am so grateful to be able to practice functional medicine and really help patients get to the root of what is causing their health issues. And one thing that I have really started to be better about after many years in clinical practice is realizing that it's not my job to heal people. My job is to help facilitate healing and really allow patients to be in the driver's seat and be responsible for their own healing journey. And I just get to walk alongside them and empower and educate them, and that's a really beautiful thing. I'm working on being a little bit better about not getting so emotionally attached to my fertility patients in particular, because I so badly, want for them to get pregnant. And that's hard. That's really hard, but I am getting better about that and about managing my own energy. So last week we got a call while we were at the gym from one of our coaches that they may have been exposed to someone who tested positive for COVID-19. So just out of an abundance of caution, we went ahead and closed. And unfortunately, it's the third time since opening in March that we've had to close our doors. We closed the day after opening for the Nashville tornadoes, and then a week after that for COVID-19 the first time. And so we decided to close. Everyone went and got tested. And we're just awaiting those results so we can make some decisions about opening again. And because of the holiday weekend, tests are pretty backed up. So many people are going out and getting tested now. So it just takes a really long time to get those results. But I'm lucky I was able to order a test kit from the lab that processes all of our other labs for our clinic. And I went ahead and did it and sent it off, and then was doing some reading up about that test and came across the fact that that test isn't even FDA approved. So I just found myself once again so frustrated by the misinformation, the disjointed information. I feel like, especially as a healthcare provider who is used to being able to help patients navigate these kinds of questions. I mean, there are so many question marks with COVID-19, and it's extremely frustrating to feel like the story's always changing. I realize that this is a really complex situation and, not something we've really dealt with before, but it's so frustrating to feel like I don't have any really good answers, to be seeing different information coming from the sources that are normally supposed to be reliable. So anyway, that's my rant about that. Just hoping that we all test negative so that we don't have to be closed for 2 weeks, because we had really been gaining some momentum, been getting new members, and really felt like July was gonna be like our month. So please send good thoughts for that to all unfold positively. I am really grateful that we had a long weekend. We had a really relaxed 4th of July. Just spent it at home in our backyard, we're so lucky to have a swimming pool, and the boys were just thrilled to have mom and dad home with them. So I think it's exactly what we as a family needed. We've been working pretty hard for the last month and a half, and things have been crazy. So it was good to have some time to rest and just to be together. And it's crazy times. The 4th of July had, ended up being pretty divisive. A lot of people were feeling not super patriotic, and that was sad to see, because when it comes down to it, I still believe we live in one of the greatest, if not the greatest country on earth. We are so fortunate for the freedoms that we have, and I completely recognize there are some systems in place that must be dismantled, must be rebuilt. But what an opportunity for us to do that and come together as a nation. And it makes me really sad to see people talking about how awful America is and how they hate this country, and people risk their lives to come here. I'm not very far removed from my immigrant grandparents. My dad was a first-generation American, and he really built an incredible life for us. And I talked about this on Instagram, but I'm so grateful for the opportunities that this country has given my family. And, I will always have a deep love for my country because of that. So anyway, that's how I've been feeling. So last week I went ahead and started my continuous glucose monitoring again. And then I had a sensor malfunction, which was frustrating. So it was a little bit of a challenge to get a new monitor, or a new sensor, but I have it now. And so I restarted that yesterday. I'm trying to decide if I want to do it for 2 weeks or 1. I may just do it for 1, but I will do a separate video all about this. I did monitoring the first time between 17 and 19 weeks and found that I was running fairly hypoglycemic. So I'm curious to see if that's changed now that I'm a little bit further on in pregnancy, and there should be a little more insulin resistance going on. I also got this handy thing. This is called a Whoop, and the intention of it is really to help with training in a more effective way. So it calculates your recovery. So it looks at sleep, it looks at strains, like how hard you've been, how hard you've worked out, and what the average of that is, and also heart rate variability. So I'm curious to see what that looks like for pregnancy, and if there's any markers that change closer to when I go into labor. And then also I'm excited to use it for postpartum recovery. So I've tried to be really mindful of how I train in pregnancy, and just making sure that I am listening to my body, trying to get movement in every day, but not pushing myself too hard when I feel totally exhausted and depleted. And this will give me more data on that. So I'm excited to have both the continuous glucose monitor readings, and then also the Whoop to just give me this information. And I'm looking forward to being able to share that that experience, because I think the more data we have, coupled with being in tune with your body and really listening to your intuition, I just think that's such an amazing opportunity for learning. So yeah, I'll be sharing about that in a separate video as well. So I hope that you all have a wonderful week. I hope that you are well, and I encourage you to surround yourself with people that you love and that inspire you. Try to take a break from all the craziness in the news, and I look forward to sharing more next week.